My name is Christine Huff. I'm a principal process engineer and I've worked for Fluor for 15 years.
My name is Shamina Hakta. I'm a sales coordinator and I've been with Fluor for 10 years.
My name is Karen Schmidt. I've been with Fluor for 23 years and I lead the talent development group in Canada.
My name is Kelty McLeod. I've worked at Fluor for 14 years. I'm an engineering manager and I'm also the Calgary office chairperson for P4.
So as a process engineer, I'm responsible for developing of material balances, and from that we develop our PFDs and equipment data sheets that we provide to mechanicals so they can do the sizing of equipment such as pumps, heat exchangers and vessels.
Sales coordination is essentially helping the 4 sales leads here in our Calgary office with their pursuit of business development opportunities, which begins from prospect development into proposal submission all the way through to the award of work.
My role as Talent Development Director encompasses many different fields. I spend a lot of time facilitating project alignments and working with project teams on finding and setting their key goals and objectives. I work with the office leadership team in helping define strategy and initiatives that we need to work on throughout the year. A big part of my role is also working with high potentials, working to help identify and then create development plans for them, for their careers and their future paths. I also have a global role actually as I'm the global lead for the performance management system, so performance assessments and everything that ties into that along with career development plans.
As an engineering manager, I oversee the engineering disciplines. I plan and coordinate execution and also manage the interfaces between the disciplines so that the whole team is moving as a group together.
The biggest challenge that I have faced in my career and my personal life was the very sudden loss of my husband 8 years ago, leaving me as a single mother with 2 young girls. I tried very hard to be a supermom and do everything myself, and I quickly learned that I just could not do it and maintain my sanity, so I decided that I needed help, and I decided to hire a nanny. And that gave me the ability to come and work knowing that there was someone at home looking after my kids, getting them to school, or being there when they were sick or off school, and that they were well taken care of. I've always prided myself on being able to do things by myself without asking for a lot of help. And when I realized that I was in trouble, then I knew that I had to ask for help. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to cope between managing my kids and managing my career. I'm now married to a really wonderful man who's helping me raise my kids, but I still have my nanny. The best success tip that I can offer to anybody is to learn to be adaptable, to know what your limitations are and to know when you need to ask for help. Always be there to help others when they're in need as well.
I think my biggest challenge was when I decided to switch careers from my previous career as a scientist and start again as an engineer. Engineering is my second career. I began as a biochemist. I have a bachelor and master's degree in biochemistry, and I practiced as a research scientist for about 5 years. It was very solitary, very non-collaborative, very independent work, which is really not a very good fit for me. So at that point, I decided to go back to school and get my chemical engineering degree. This was a pretty tough decision to make because I was leaving behind a career that for all intents and purposes was going very well. And I was going to start new into the unknown, and it was quite daunting at the time. But I decided to leave my doubts behind me, take a chance, and just go for it. So a success tip I would offer to someone else is never be afraid to take a leap. As long as you know what you're getting yourself into, you never know just how far you're going to go.
I started working at Fluor after university in Edmonton, and I moved to Fluor because I wanted to do structural engineering design, and I got to do that right away. My first project also led me to fabrication shops in Texas and in Edmonton, and also to the job site in Fort Saskatchewan. After that, I continued in design but started acting as an area lead, and then eventually as an overall civil structural lead. And on my last job as a civil structural lead, I led a team of about 64 people. Throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to work on many other initiatives as well outside of my regular job. I was on the Engineering Week and United Way committees, and currently I'm working with the P4 program and also with the Centennial High School Partnership Committee. Challenge for me was having to say no because I don't like to say no to opportunities. And the first time I had to do that, I was asked to be the chairperson for the United Way Committee. At the time, I had just taken over as an overall CSA lead for the first time, and it happened to be summer, so I was also playing competitive fastball 3 or 4 times a week and also every weekend. And in the end, I decided that it was just too much to take on at that time, so I had to say no. Luckily for me, a couple of years later, that opportunity arose again and I was able to be the chairperson. The other challenge I had was the time I had an opportunity to put my name in for a sales position, which would have been a great opportunity and opened a lot of doors for me. At that time, I had just gotten engaged and we were planning our wedding for 7 months later, which is not a very long time to plan a wedding. So I felt in the end that I couldn't take the opportunity because I wasn't going to be able to commit the time I needed to do the job properly. At Fluor, I don't believe that saying no to an opportunity if you have to will close any doors. Eventually other doors will open, or even sometimes the same door. But because of different stages in your life, you may not be able to take every opportunity. But I would encourage you as much as you possibly can to take as many as you can.
The biggest challenge that I faced in my career happened about 5 years ago. I was offered an opportunity to move back to Australia, something that we had, as a family, thought that we would want to do at some point. It was a great opportunity in Perth, a city that I loved living in. My husband had a great role as well. Things were looking really good. It was at that time, though, that my daughter really started expressing concern about leaving her friends and leaving her school and seeing the changes that would happen to her. It was really during that phase, though, that we realized that now decisions have to be made as a family unit and everybody has to be taken into consideration. The most important success tip that I would share with anyone who asked would be to take control, take charge of your career. Don't rely on others to make things happen for you. Seek out what you want and make it happen. You know, you need to perform, you need to do your job very well, you need to meet expectations, meet your commitments. But a big part of it as well is networking, it's making yourself known, it's really just questioning and challenging and being true to yourself. And if you see things that could be done differently, that could be done better, then do them and question why we're not doing them those ways and never give up. And that's what I've done and that's what I'll continue to do. And I want to continue to challenge. Don't accept status quo.